Welcome to the Clique podcast. I'm Danny Watson, a mindset and manifestation expert and founder of the Clique, a company that helps women overcome their fears and limiting beliefs to create a life and business that they love. Within this podcast, I will help you get clear on what you want, identify the blocks that are holding you back, transform your mindset and raise your vibration so that you can co-create magic with the universe. If you are looking to design a life that truly sets your soul on fire and manifest more success and abundance, then you are in the right place. Hello, ladies. Apologies if this little intro is a little bit windy. I am currently down at the beach about to have some lunch, and I needed to do a quick introduction to this podcast because I want to share with you my recently hosted Feminine Leadership Masterclass. Now, if you've tuned in to previous podcast episodes, you may have heard me mention that I have been preparing a brand new program behind the scenes, and I am so excited to announce that that program, She Leads, is now officially launched. So this masterclass is designed as an introduction to that program. So if you are a coach, business owner, leader, CEO who really wants to grow exponentially in terms of your wealth, success and impact, all whilst embracing your feminine energy, then I'm excited to share this masterclass with you, and I will hopefully see you inside the She Leads program. All of the details for the program will be posted inside the show notes. So enjoy this masterclass, ladies, and I hopefully will connect with you again soon. Hello, ladies. Welcome. Now, a bit of a background as to why you're watching this masterclass today and why I really invited you here today. So this masterclass then, it is essentially the introduction masterclass to my She Leads Feminine Leadership program. Now, this program is a program that invites you to create exponential growth across all areas of your life, and do so whilst embracing your feminine leader within. So this program isn't about working harder or doing more. It's about being more of who you are meant to be and attracting better. Now, the She Leads program is a program that actually took me 2 whole years to develop. Longer than I initially thought it would. And it's something that I've been really called to share since I witnessed exponential growth, not just in my business and my finances, but in all areas of my life. Now, I've spoken about some of these successes on social media and also on my podcast, but I've never really opened up about what was really going on behind the scenes. So, bit of background story. In 2020, my income skyrocketed into multiple 7 figures. And even more recently, I've been able to turn this into 7-figure months. Now, when I first started to see the massive growth that I was experiencing, my initial thoughts were, maybe I've just got lucky. I actually thought maybe it was COVID. A large percentage of my income comes through our coach training. So I thought, well, maybe people have just got more time to be at home and to think about changing their careers. We'd also just got our coach training ICF accredited. So I thought, well, maybe that's, playing a big role in this, why everything has taken off. And I started to really wonder and doubt, am I going to be able to keep going on this trajectory? However, I reminded myself that I had actually planned for this to happen. I had asked for this. I'd asked for a multiple 7 big business. I'd asked for the 7-figure months. I had been working towards this. The success, it was no accident. I was just finally receiving what I had already set an intention to receive. But why this moment? Why then? Why had I not experienced this level of growth in the previous year? The previous years had been great, don't get me wrong, but this was really like exponential growth. what was it that allowed me to do this? I didn't want for me to have this really amazing win in my life, only for me to then revert back to previous levels. And I also knew that I really wanted to be able to share this experience with my clients to help them create exponential growth too. But for me to be able to do that, I had to really understand, well, what helped me get there? So what I decided to do, I thought I'm going to try and reverse engineer the whole process and really figure out who I'd become in order to get to that point, how I'd become her, and what I'd also done to get there. Okay, so this is really important. There's two elements here. Who I had become to step into that level of growth, and then also what I had done. So the action steps that I'd taken. And both of these are very, very important, but not in equal measures. In fact, who I'd become accounted for about 80% of my growth. And then what I'd done, I kind of had this pen to be about 20% responsible for my growth. Now, I knew this because there was really some months where I'd really done nothing. I took very little action. There was no stress. There was not really much work involved. And yet I'd still pretty much been able to keep on the same kind of growth and trajectory. So I knew the majority of my growth, 80% of it, it really came down to who I was being. And this is what I believe is the same for you too. Who you are, your beliefs, your energy, this has the biggest impact on what you will receive. Now, to create She Leads, I really spent a lot of time understanding this person that I'd stepped into. And also the person that I'd left behind as well. You know, the person, the identity of me that I'd left behind. Now, what's really important to understand here, that this wasn't about me becoming somebody I was not. And this was always really important to me. I wanted to be able to create success, but I needed to make sure that it was going to be in a way that really felt true to me. I didn't really want to act out of integrity with who I really was, and I don't want you to have to do that either. Instead, I had actually tapped into the power that had been within me all along. And this is the same for you as well, that power within. So I had found the treasures within me that had been buried, the parts of me that I was perhaps too afraid to bring to the surface. The parts of me that I perhaps didn't even realize existed. The feminine leader within me had been unleashed. And this is what I want for you. This is the version of you that I want to help you access. I want to help you step into your role as the confident woman who knows what she wants, and she is 100% unapologetic about her grand desires. She's not ashamed or guilty of her big vision for life. The woman who is loud and proud about the huge vision she has, and is absolutely decisive that that vision will be a reality. She's not afraid that she's being too much, or that she's, dreaming too big. She's not afraid of offending anybody or being judged or criticized. She's willing to play bigger than she ever has. So I'm here to help you become the woman who is able to really shine her light really brightly. Be that inspiration for others. The woman who absolutely knows the value that she brings into the world. The woman who is ready to be truly seen for who she really is. And, she absolutely knows that the people who need her are ready and waiting for her. I'm here to help you become the woman who magnetically attracts amazing opportunities, money, people, abundance into her life. She doesn't ever need to force or push for anything. My work is really about inviting you to shift into your power as this feminine leader and truly command greatness, not just in your business, not just in, your finances, but in all areas of your life. Now, once you are able to access this version of you, I promise you that life will become limitless. Now, I can see that many of you have already started liking and sharing this video, which honestly is absolutely amazing. If anyone's just tuned in, if you want to receive the hypnosis, my She Leads Feminine Leadership Hypnosis, make sure to like this video, share this video, and then once you've shared, write flamingo in the comments. So, as I was saying, the growth I experienced, it really all came down to who I had become, this feminine leader. But I know that many of you watching this will still want and need the guidance on what to do. So I actually get so many emails on this, questions that ask me, what do I need to do to build a successful business? What do I need to do to attract clients? What do I need to do to make more money? What action steps should I take next? You know, what marketing steps would you recommend? What's a step-by-step action plan? And action is still important. I really believe this. It's still 20% of your results. So 20% of 1 million is £200,000. That's a lot of money to leave on the table. So that 20%, it really counts. So if you are somebody who does like the step-by-step action steps, who wants clarity on the doing too, I would really like you to stay tuned until the end of this masterclass, because I want to share how you can actually access my 7-figure feminine business portal for free. Now, this portal, it's packed with what to do, the strategy, the marketing, the action steps. Now, access to this portal, it's currently priced at £3,000, so £3,000. You could go ahead and just buy it if you want, or if you prefer, the better option, stay tuned until the end of this masterclass. I'm going to share with you how you can actually get it for free. You don't have to pay a thing for it. Now, since I sent out the email about my She Leads Feminine Leadership Program, I've been flooded with emails about what's involved, how to join. So at the end of this masterclass, I'll also share about how you can continue to work with me inside the She Leads Feminine Leadership Program for those of you who are ready for this. Now, something that is quite exciting, what I'm also actually going to currently include in the She Leads program is our Feminine Leadership Certification. So this is only going to be available for a certain amount of time. This certification is actually going to certify you as a feminine leadership coach. So I'm going to share more of that again at the end of this masterclass. So if you're interested in getting certified as a feminine leadership coach, stay tuned. So this masterclass is designed to introduce you to my world and how we can work together to create mind-blowing results. Now, I'm not just talking about financial results here. However, the money side of things, I get it. It's sexy. And yes, I am no longer afraid of admitting that I want to be wildly wealthy. Because you know what? Being wildly wealthy is a really good thing. You can give back in such a bigger way when you have the financial means behind you. And when I've helped my one-on-one clients integrate the framework that I'm going to teach you about today, some of their financial wins have been mind-blowing. So I'm talking about going from 5K, 10K months to 50K plus months. For my own business, this framework has meant going from 6-figure months to 7-figure months. But the life that has come off the back of that has been absolutely wild. Bigger and more joyful and more expansive than, honestly, I could have ever imagined or even predicted. Probably one of the biggest personal milestones for me was purchasing a home, actually my second home in the south of Spain, which is where I now live with my family. It's funny because when I first started my business, I thought to myself, oh, I wonder if I could maybe eventually get on the property ladder. I didn't own a property at the time, I was renting. And it actually took me nearly 3 years until from when I started my business to be able to do that. But it was just 1 year later, this year of exponential growth, and I was already in a position to purchase my second home, my dream home, in Spain. You know, a beautiful 7-bedroom, spacious home, views to the sea, a gorgeous pool, gorgeous gardens. And all of this, by the way, was done at a point in my life where I am the mother to 3 little ones who I am able to show up fully for, because my framework and the way I work doesn't require me to be doing the doing all the time. You know, remember, taking the action that accounts for just 20%. The rest of the equation is all about who you are being. And this is really what feminine leadership is all about. It is not about hustling and struggling. It's not about working in a constant state of stress and panic and feeling like if you take your foot off the pedal even for a second, you are going to sink. Feminine leadership is not about feeling guilty if you prioritize yourself and your dreams first. Feminine leadership is not about playing small or, you know, keeping yourself in the shadows to avoid criticism or judgment or rejection. Feminine leadership, it's not about wearing a mask in order to be liked or to fit in or to blend in. It's not about settling for what you've got right now because you're thinking, oh, you know, I should just be happy with what I've got. I feel guilty, or it feels maybe uncomfortable to want even more. Feminine leadership, it is about claiming everything that you are meant for, whilst working in complete alignment with what feels good. It gets to be fun. It gets to feel good. It gets to feel exciting. It's about being true to you whilst being a magnet for all of the things that you are meant for. A magnet for the money that you desire, the relationships that you crave, the success that you want to see, the impact and influence that you are destined for. Feminine leadership, it's about being both feminine and soft and kind and compassionate and giving, but equally being a force to be reckoned with. You know, a strong and powerful woman who is fierce with her boundaries. Feminine leadership, it is about being able to really command and own what it is that you want in life, whether that be in your relationships, in business, with money. But, this is important, without ever feeling like you're having to coerce things or force the outcome. There is no forcing or pushing. Remember, this gets to be easy. With feminine leadership, you're actually able to create all of the outcomes that you want from this place of ease and grace. Feminine leadership is about showing up for yourself first without ever feeling guilty about that. Now, the moment that I truly stepped into my role as a feminine leader, this was when everything rocketed for me. Who I've become has got me to where I am today. And who I will continue to evolve into will shape what I create for my future. And I'm excited, totally excited to meet that future version of me and to see what she's really capable of. And when I do meet her, I would absolutely love to bring you on, you know, that journey with me. But for right now, we're here. And where I'm at right now, I want to bring you to this space for yourself. Okay, I want to bring you into my world currently as it is and help you understand how I came from where I was to where I am today. And then I want to help you to actually integrate this lesson into your own life. Okay. Hello, ladies. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this already. It really does mean a lot. Now, I truly believe that everything I've witnessed, the success I've been able to create in the way that I've been able to create it, I believe I've achieved this so I can be an example of what is possible for others. I truly believe one of my biggest purposes in this world is to show women what they are really capable of in terms of success and wealth, but really changing the narrative where stress and fear is no longer our emotional home. This doesn't need to be our story. Remember, this gets to be fun. life gets to be easy. We get to create exponential wealth without years of struggle, hard work, exhaustion, burnout, sacrifice with loved ones, with friends, with, sacrificing the things that you really love. So what I'm going to be walking you through today is the She Leads Feminine Leadership Framework that allows for that version of you to be your story. Now, something that is important about how I work. This is important, so I really want you to listen to this carefully. Some people will hire a coach or invest in programs because they think they aren't enough or they don't know enough. They don't have all of the answers. But I'm here to tell you that this isn't why you should work with me. Now, I know that many of my own clients have been inspired by the success I've created or the money that I've made. But when we start working together, I'd like to remind them that we are equals. So this isn't about me having all of the magic. This is about me bringing out the magic in you. Your magic is already within you. Now, having been in business for a long time, I have a lot of answers about a lot of things, and I can happily give my clients the answers that they're looking for when it comes to the business side of things. But what I offer the women that I work with goes much, much deeper than this. Because what I'm here for is to help you tap into the answers that are already within you. I don't want you to come into my space and feel less than who you really are. I want you to come into my space and feel more of who you really are. I want to make your life magical, not because I am there to support you, but because you've realized that the magic was within you this whole time. Okay? And that's important. When you work with me, I want you to be thinking, being around this person makes me realize how capable I am. Now, here's a really interesting thing about when you invest in somebody to support you. That support, the support of others, it often comes with a limit. First of all, it comes with a limit on what that person thinks is possible for you based upon what they believe is possible for themselves. And it also comes with a limit on what they think is possible for you based upon who you've been up until this point. So based upon your past. So let's just start with that first limitation. Because what I believe is possible for you is mirrored in what I believe is possible for myself. And the work that I've integrated into my own life in the past few years means that my self-belief has never been stronger. I have done a lot of work on surpassing my own limitations to the point that any single desire that I can create in my mind, I absolutely have zero doubt that it is going to show up for me. And I've been living proof of this now for a long time. The 100K years becoming the 100K months, the 6-figure months becoming 7-figure months. And I actually hold this to be true for anybody that I work with. Because what my beliefs about what my clients are capable of are a mirror of what I believe for myself. And the possibilities I see for my own life, I am able to see for yours. Which, by the way, those possibilities are limitless. Now, is this to say I'm not ever faced with self-doubt or fear? Of course not. I'm human. But since I've been integrating this work, my life is no longer a product of my self-doubt. The fears might creep in, but my beliefs about what I am capable of carry so much more weight than any fear that a fear is just a tiny blip in the ocean. Now, let's also then consider the limit another person may place on you because of who you've been up until now. Often the level of expectation somebody has of you and what you're able to achieve is often based upon what you've accomplished up until now. They'll almost use that as the benchmark. Your past is the benchmark. But I'm not really here for who you've been, but where you are going. So when we start working together, we meet at the place of your future identity, not your past. So when you walk alongside me, we're walking the path of your future self, not your past. And this, I believe, is really powerful. A lot of coaches, they want to keep taking you backwards into old wounds, into past mistakes, into failures, into old beliefs and old memories. And honestly, keeping you in the past, it keeps you needing them. Now, if you're constantly looking for something to fix or something to heal from, guess what? You're going to find it, but you cannot grow from there. We cannot move forwards if we are always looking backwards. Now, by the way, this isn't to say that we are abandoning the past. The past is important and it definitely filters into my work because there's lessons to be learned from our pasts, and sometimes there's going to be things that crop up in our future that will require us to look at who we've been in order to heal and move on from it. But the moving on from it, this part is so important. And it's what I believe is missing from a lot of the coaching that is actually happening today. Remember, we don't want to keep going back and picking at old wounds. Sometimes what we do need to do is we need to walk away from them. We need to not look back in order for them to heal. Walking into your future, it creates space for you to let go of who you've been. Okay, so when you walk with me, we are always walking forwards. We aren't constantly looking, over our shoulders in fear of what could come up next for us. Our eyes are firmly on what is coming, the excitement that is coming, not just what has been. So I hope that all makes sense, but I just felt like I needed to share that because it's a really, really important message. Now, let's dive into the She Leads Feminine Leadership Framework. For this, I would like to guide you through the key pillars of the framework and the key philosophies that are weaved into the framework, and then the various tools and modalities that I use to help integrate the lessons within your life. So the She Leads Feminine Leadership Framework is actually split into 4 volumes, 4 core volumes. Okay, so volume 1, this starts with the initiation. Now, the initiation, the way I see it, in order to bloom, you have to first plant the seed. And not only that, but you have to plant the seed in the ground and the environment that is most fertile for growth. Okay, so just like a tiny seed, you've got to water the ground in which you've been planted to give yourself the best possible chance of thriving and growing taller than you ever imagined possible. What happens in those very early seedling days is really, really important. Now, this is what the initiation is all about. Creating the perfect environment for you to grow. Developing strong roots into a well-nourished bed. The initiation phase is designed to help you create the right internal environment for you to bloom. So during the initiation, you will be up-leveling your whole future vision for yourself, ready for exponential growth. Now, from this point on, you are no longer here to play small. You will be letting go of the things that don't serve you to energetically create space for what you are meant for. You will be regulating your nervous system so that your baseline operating system is one of calm and ease. You are going to be familiarizing yourself with your new identity as that feminine leader. You're going to be reprogramming your subconscious mind through things like hypnosis. You're going to be shifting your energy with tools such as EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Now, from the moment that you step into that initiation phase, selling yourself short of your true potential is no longer an option. Okay? This is where you become rooted in a foundation that is so abundant. The only direction for you to go from here is up. Now, Volume 2. Volume 2, you're going to redefine your entire relationship with yourself. So your relationship with everything, whether that's money, people, work, success, health, it all starts with the relationship that you have with yourself. Now, during Volume 2, you're actually going to deepen your connection with your true self and identify who you really are before society taught you who you should be. You will explore your shadows as well as your light, and you will start to find your sweet spot between the masculine and the feminine in order to rise up in full alignment with who you are here to be. Now, during this phase, you will release the blocks and self-imposed limitations that are preventing you from reaching your next level of leadership, success, and wealth. Now, some of the themes of Volume 2. First of all, self-belief. Chances are, if you're watching this, you've probably already witnessed some degree of success in your life. Now, maybe it's not as much as you would want, and perhaps not in the way that you would like to receive success. But there will be something from your journey that you've accomplished that you're proud of. And to get here, to get to where you are now, you would have needed some degree of self-belief. But as the saying goes, every new level has a new devil. And whatever self-belief got you here, it's not going to get you there. So, quick story time. Hi, ladies. Quick story time. There was a point in my business where I had plateaued. Now, this plateau, it was around the 6-figure mark. So, in all honesty, 6-figure month mark, should I say. Not a bad place to plateau. But I'm somebody who is committed to continuously evolving, continuously growing, and I really wanted to shift into my next level of earning. Now, up until this point in my journey, I'd done a lot of work on self-belief, tons of work on my self-belief. I thought I had this covered. I felt confident in myself. I've got this covered. But I realized I'd reached my upper limit level. And maybe this is where you're at right now. You've got a certain degree of self-belief, which has got you here. But what's got you here will not get you there. So growing my finances exponentially meant growing my self-belief exponentially. And this is what Volume 2 is designed to help you with. Now, it also covers the topic of self-care, but not in, mani-pedis, bubble baths, not that type of self-care. What I mean is the ability to truly honor and prioritize your needs unapologetically and without feeling guilty and without it negatively impacting your success. I think often we really want to prioritize self-care more, but what stops us is first of all the guilt, and second of all the fear of if I take my eyes off my business for 1 second, it's going to suffer. So I definitely felt a lack of self-care through my business journey, and how it played out for me previously was this overwhelming feeling of guilt if I wasn't working. Guilt and fear. I'd start to think, I should be doing more. If I stop, what if my business stops? And I almost felt like I could never truly relax because it always felt there was something at the back of my mind and I just couldn't switch it off. I felt like I always needed to be working. And I also really struggled with boundaries, particularly client boundaries. I felt like I needed to be there for my clients as much as possible. I'd find myself feeling overly responsible for my clients to the point where it would actually start to feel like a lot of stress and pressure. And it almost was as if I just couldn't allow myself to just relax and enjoy the experience of being a coach. With everything that I was doing, I was constantly questioning myself, is this enough? Am I enough? Is this program enough? Now, what I know to be true for myself now and to be true for you as well is that I can create extraordinary results for my clients without needing to feel that overwhelming pressure or responsibility. I can really disconnect myself from that pressure. And I can also take time off without giving a thought to it. You know, I don't even think about taking time off. And I don't think about my business suffering because I take time off. In fact, I 100% believe now that when I truly disconnect from my business, that's going to be the times when I see this surge in growth. Now, in volume 2, I want to show you how to make this become your story too, how to make this possible. So you will be setting a new standard for how you prioritize yourself and allowing this to make a hugely positive impact in the success you see. Imagine that. Imagine able to fully relax and surrender and let go, and knowing that you'll create more success because of it. Now, something else I want to share with you. In volume 2, one of the things we will touch upon or dive into is shadow work. Now, a feminine leader is able to honor her shadows and learn and heal from them. Now, something that I really struggled with, and this held me back from really expanding into my next level of leadership and wealth, was perfectionism. I had always had this compelling need to flood the dark with light. Now, I tried to avoid the negative because I wanted so badly for everything to be positive all the time, to feel good, for things to look good, for everything to be the best that it could be. I didn't even want to consider things not working out. If ever things didn't go as I wanted them to go, I would use false positivity to try and act as if it didn't happen. Just didn't happen. I'm not going to even think about it. I'm so happy. I'm so positive. Now, this way of thinking, it was actually born out of a very simplistic view of the law of attraction and this idea that we create a positive life by thinking positive all the time. But what happens is we end up spiritually bypassing the pain. We pretend it doesn't exist. We deny our shadows, and in doing so, we deny a part of ourselves that makes us who we are. And then what we do is we then only show the world the parts of us that we deem worthy to be seen. And we wonder why we never then feel fully whole, or we're able to fully claim all that we're meant for. We are able to be all that we are meant to be and attract all that we are meant to attract when we accept all of who we are, our shadows as well as our light. Okay, so volume 2 then is an invitation for you to meet both your shadows and your light. Now, volume 3. Volume 3, it's time to explore your relationship with others. Your role as a feminine leader, it's not just about you, but the relationship with those that you lead. Okay? Now, reaching your fullest potential as a coach, as a business owner, it means helping other people reach theirs. So this volume then, it's designed to help you reach more people and create more influence and impact with your work. Now, during this part of the program, you're going to learn how to show up in a way that truly inspires change in others and become that woman who others actually really want to be led by. You're also going to explore your relationships outside of your professional life. So we really want to ensure that those relationships, they actually support and heighten your success rather than hindering it. Now, you're going to emerge from this volume with the ability to show up for those that you are meant to lead powerfully and gracefully. Plus, it's also going to empower you with the ability to fully honor your boundaries within relationships, allowing you to really preserve your energy and use it to really fuel the things that are important to you. Now, some of the topics from this volume. One important topic within this volume, it explores the impact that family relationships have on our ability to feel safe. So what I mean by safety here, there's really 2 key areas of safety. Feeling safe to be seen, feeling safe to be visible, and feeling safe to relax. So let's start with the first one. Do you truly feel safe to get visible and take up space and be yourself whilst doing so? Or are there parts of you that you hold back? Do you feel truly safe when you fully relax, when you let go, when you surrender? Or do you always feel perhaps slightly on edge or, on guard? So let's start with that feeling safe to be seen. Creating a big impact through your work, it requires you to be able to show up in a way, this way that maybe you've already been doing this, showing up and getting visible. But exponential growth, it means being able to take up even more space and feel totally safe and at ease to do so. Now, the resistance we feel to truly showing the fullest version of who we came here to be, it can often be traced back to family relationships from childhood. So when we're being told as a child, perhaps, you're being too much, you're being too loud. I have this memory. I loved performing as a child, making up Spice Girls dance routines, doing all these shows, dragging my two younger sisters into these performances. And I'll never forget once my mum, she told me, "Oh, your grandma Watson, she thinks you're a show off." Now, all a child wants is to be accepted. Acceptance rather, that equals safety, it equals security. Therefore, in my mind, it wasn't safe to be who I really was. I couldn't be that performer. Now, there's also feeling safe to relax. As children, the majority of us experience some degree of explosive parenting at some point. It might not be crazy. It might just be a parent getting a little bit angry or frustrated. Maybe it's a parent shouting, taking their anger or frustrations out around you. It might not necessarily be that the child is the direct target of that anger, but being in that environment, it can actually cause us to become hypervigilant. So what happens is we are then constantly on alert in case we have to take ourselves out of the firing line. And then what happens as adults, we then wonder, why it becomes so difficult to just really relax and let go. We do not truly feel safe to completely let go. So maybe you're taking time off and a part of you is just trying to keep yourself busy. Okay, maybe you're kind of constantly in this busy, productive mode. Maybe you book yourself in for a massage, but your mind just doesn't quieten down. Your body just won't fully surrender. Maybe you're trying to relax in the evening and you find yourself, scrolling on social media. The feminine leader is able to fully surrender, okay? She feels safe to completely let go and she finds enjoyment in doing so rather than resistance. So by exploring the relationships that we have as children, in volume 3, you will learn how to feel, first of all, totally safe within yourself to be seen, to be heard, and also to relax, to be yourself, okay? You will also learn how to truly impact and inspire, those you lead without feeling that burden of pressure and responsibility. And you'll also learn how to cultivate relationships that really nurture your success. Now, you're still with me. Hello, ladies. Volume 4, that's all about tapping into the success and the wealth that you are meant for, but attracting this rather than pushing for it or forcing it. Something else which was really interesting when I plateaued at my 100k months was what I believed it would take me to take my business even further. I felt like, I should just be happy here because surely anything more, that next level is going to require so much more of me. At this point, I could believe that 100k months could be easy, but more than that, 7-figure months, for example, it just felt like that would take so much more work, more stress, more sacrifice. So whilst a part of me really wanted to grow, another part of me said, well, at what cost? Business was good, life was good. Surely, this is it, I was telling myself. Surely this is it. But I knew that there were many, many more lives that I wanted to reach, bigger things that I wanted to manifest. I knew I wanted to continue to evolve over, my lifetime. I didn't just want to hit a certain milestone and say, That's it. I'm done. So I turned back to the wisdom that I already knew, the same wisdom that got me to those 100K months in such a delicious way. And the wisdom says, I get to have it all without needing to give all of me. I get to have it all without needing to give all of me. This is success and wealth with a new feminine role model. It gets to be fun. It gets to be easy. It gets to be something that we want to keep being a part of rather than, you know, hitting a certain level and thinking, this is my limit. I am done. I want out. If 6-figure months could be easy, why not 7-figure months? Now, a big part of this volume is quantum leaping into your next income level, exponential growth. Now, the masculine logical brain says, things have to take a long time. You know, it's very much this linear approach to getting what you want. It's got to take a lot of work. It's got to take a lot of struggle. To 10x my results means, you know, it's going to take 10 years. But the feminine says, if it can be easy to get myself here, why can't it be easy to get myself there? Because this isn't about effort. The abundance available to you does not need to be a direct correlation to the effort you put in. Instead, it's a direct correlation to your energy. Doing more doesn't help you to create more. Energetic alignment does. Now, when I truly mastered this was when I was able to take my business to a whole new level, a whole new income level, success level. The thing with effort, it's got a limit, right? There's only so many hours in a day. Energy, on the other hand, is infinite. Your energy can continue to expand, and with that, so does your reality. And this is what I want to teach you in volume 4. Okay, another part of this volume is your attachment between how hard you work and your worth. So for anyone that was praised for being a good girl and working hard at school, often our worth becomes intrinsically linked with what we do. So, for example, when a parent praises us for working hard, what they're ultimately doing is teaching us who we need to be to feel loved and accepted. So when it comes to then allowing ourselves to do less, we feel so much resistance to do this because without working hard to prove ourselves, what is left to show that we are worthy of love? So volume 4 then, it helps you to detach your worth from your work so that you start to feel innately worthy to receive in a really, really big way without this insistent need to prove yourself. That feeling of not enoughness is going to disappear during this volume. During this phase, you are going to be getting into alignment with your own feminine sweet spot. Your feminine alignment sweet spot. This is the balance between the masculine and the feminine. Now, embracing your feminine leader, it doesn't mean the absence of the masculine. Far from it. Embracing your feminine doesn't necessarily mean slowing down entirely or doing nothing at all or surrendering entirely. There may be times for big action in your life. There is room for duality. Okay, that's important. The key is to figuring out your unique blend that allows you to create exponential growth, but keeping in alignment with what feels good to you. And this is going to be different for everybody. Okay, so volume 4 is about finding your balance between the masculine and the feminine so that you can create more abundance and success from energetic alignment rather than just simply doing more and working harder, which so many people tell us is what we need to do to be more successful. Not the case. Now, the final chapters happen over months 5 and 6. So we've got volumes 1 to 4 that happen in months 1 to 4. And then the final chapters over months 5 and 6. Now, by this point, you will have done a lot of work through the previous volumes, and you will be really witnessing the impact it's having. So personally, professionally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. The final 2 months is where you're now fully stepping into your feminine leadership era. and allowing the world to truly meet who you have come here to be. The final chapter she leads is your chance to be supported through this process so that nothing gets in your way of you claiming your place in this world and the success and the abundance that you are meant for. So, ladies, now that you understand this framework, I just want to actually very quickly walk you through the tools I use to help you integrate all of this knowledge. Okay? Let's just start actually with this word, knowledge, because this is where people often get coaching and sharing knowledge mixed up. True coaching is not about sharing your knowledge on a subject. This is teaching or mentoring. Teaching is what most people can get from a book or from YouTube or podcasts or whatever. But when I work with my clients, there may be things that I need to teach you or to remind you about in order for you to fully integrate the transformation. So how I work, there are definitely elements of teaching just to ensure that you have all of the information and it all makes sense to you. However, teaching alone isn't what creates change. So, good example of this. You could acquire all of the knowledge in the world about what to eat healthily, okay? But you could still be unhealthy. You could still make bad choices. Knowledge alone doesn't create results. So the majority of how I work goes beyond simply just teaching you. My way of working involves coaching in the truest sense of the word. My favorite phrase, the quality of your life is based upon the quality of the questions that I ask you. One thing I believe I've become highly skilled at is asking the right questions to create a breakthrough. Intuitively knowing in the moment what I need to ask you so that you can unravel and understand what is going on for you. Now, you may need to know what you need to do, but do you truly understand why you're not doing something? Okay, that's the key. Or maybe you know who you need to be, but do you really understand what is stopping you from unleashing that version? Okay, so coaching, it's not about teaching you what to do. Coaching is about holding space for you and asking the right questions so that you can actually come to your own conclusions. And by the way, this is so much more empowering for you. I'm not here to be your guru. I'm here to help you tap into your own power and become your own guru. And this for me is what self-leadership is all about. Okay, being able to confidently lead yourself, being able to find the answers within yourself and with those discoveries, lead yourself so that you can then lead others. Now, I also like to weave mentorship into the way that I work because I absolutely love sharing my experiences and what has worked for me and giving my feedback on things. You know, I like to be able to help people see things in a different way. I love being a mentor. It's so fun to have all of these amazing experiences, both, you know, the good and the bad, and be able to pass on the lessons that I've learned. And I've learned so much along the way. So as much as I like asking my clients questions to help them experience breakthroughs, I love to get asked questions as well to help them create greater clarity. Now, there's also my toolbox of coaching tools and healing techniques that permeate through all of my work. So these include things like the law of attraction coaching, law of attraction mastery, subconscious reprogramming, self-love coaching, energy healing. So one of my favorite types of energy healing is actually a technique called theta healing. I incorporate embodiment work, NLP, EFT, hypnosis, breath work. Okay, so accessing this whole toolbox of all of these amazing things. So now you know the pillars and the methods of how I implement my work. Let's just talk about the transformation, because really this is what it's all about. This is what She Leads is all about. This is what's important. The woman that you become and the woman you're going to keep growing into. and the results that can then come from that. Story time again. I was actually in a program once, and it was designed to help me double my income. Now, this isn't something that I want to state, not because I don't think it's possible. It's because I don't want to set the limit of what's available to you. I've no idea what could be your potential, no idea what it could be. And perhaps you don't either. You've probably no idea how far you can go. So whilst you might be thinking right now, I'd love to hit my first 10K month, my first 20K month, my first 50K month. Why limit yourself in that way when what is available to you is infinite? Now, whilst the money is sexy and what we can do with wealth is expansive and it's very exciting, it's who you become through this process that's going to be your biggest celebration. That, honestly, is true wealth. Who you become. The having of the stuff, the dream home, the luxury travel. None of that means anything if you don't feel amazing in who you are. It doesn't mean anything if you're not fully in alignment with who you're here to be. It means nothing if you don't feel like the confident goddess that you are, the feminine leader that you're being called to be, the one that those who need you to be. And this is the woman my program, She Leads, is designed to help you step into. The She Leads program, it invites you to do just that. Lead yourself and others as that feminine leader. Now, if you are ready for this, if you are ready to go deeper than you have ever gone before, in order to rise higher than what you ever imagined possible, then now is the time to do so. Within the She Leads program, we will get to spend 6 glorious months together. So this is where we will peel back the layers and find out who you really are and who you have come here to be. This is where you will truly understand and believe in what you are capable of. This is where, because who you have become, what you are then able to create will become limitless. The success, the wealth, the impact, limitless. Now, just as a heads up, this program, it's not for those that are just wanting to dip a toe into coaching. This is for women who, I'm sure many of you are, who are ready to go all in on your dreams, on your business, on yourself, on the clients who are waiting for you. And if that's you, you are my kind of woman. And I cannot wait to help you lead yourself to greatness. So, She Leads Feminine Leadership is now officially open to register. And if you remember earlier, I told you about how you can access my 7-figure business portal for free. Well, this is what I want to gift you today for anybody who signs up to She Leads before the deadline. And there is more. I've also decided to include access to our Feminine Leadership Certification, which I'm super excited about. This is a training that will help you to masterfully coach leaders, successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, high-level career women, high-level professionals. It's a training that will provide you with high-level coaching skills and the confidence in your ability to create results. So you will learn how to coach leaders to create exponential success within their professional lives whilst honouring their own feminine energy. You will be shown how to masterfully guide leaders into their next phase of personal growth, of wealth, of, professional success, and feel really confident and justified in being able to command premium fees for their work. When coaching leaders, the beauty of this space, what I absolutely love about coaching leaders is that they've often already done a lot of personal development work. Okay, perhaps a lot of mindset work. They've probably also had coaching before, maybe even a lot of coaching. And just think about what kind of results you can create for somebody when you're already starting from a pretty solid baseline. So this is about taking somebody who is probably already achieving things, achieving a certain level of a success. It's about taking that person and making things even better, up-leveling their existing version of success and making it even sweeter by coaching them to continue on their trajectory of growth, but in a far more feminine way. And then once you are qualified and certified as a feminine leadership coach, there are so many options for where this qualification could take you. So it might be working with other business owners, it could be working with CEOs, it might be getting hired by companies to coach their leaders within their workplace. The world is really starting to recognize that success solely led by the masculine doesn't always work. We can only go so far before it crashes and burns. But when we give space for the feminine to truly be acknowledged within business, we can rise even higher. So just imagine for a second, imagine being able to be a part of changing the whole narrative of how success is created, how money is made, of how power is distributed. Getting certified as a feminine leadership coach will give you the skills to be able to bring this much needed shift into the world. So, all of the details for the She Leads program are linked within this video. You'll find them in the comments section. They're linked to that. And remember, if you join before the deadline, you're going to get those bonuses as well. You will also get to access the group experience for 50% off. Okay, so there's a one-on-one option, a private option, and also a group experience, which is 50% off if you join before the deadline. Plus the bonuses, so the Feminine Business Vault, which is worth $3,000, and the Feminine Leadership Certification, which is worth $2,500. So I'm so excited to be able to lead you through this experience so that you can learn how to powerfully lead yourself so that you can then pave the way for others to rise with you. So thank you, ladies, for being here today. I'm eternally grateful. Thank you for all of your comments and your likes and your shares. And for those of you who've shared in the comments, one of my team will get to you with the She Leads Feminine Leadership Hypnosis. So I can't wait for you to experience that. Have a wonderful rest of the day, ladies. And for those of you who are joining me in She Leads, I cannot wait to support you in there. Bye, ladies. Lots of love. If you are wanting to build your own successful online coaching business, make sure to check out Freedom, Abundance and Impact, our free 10-day business and mindset course for coaches and aspiring coaches. To access, simply head to wearetheclique.com and click free course in the menu.